Penn's Village is a community-based membership organization in central Philadelphia. It offers programs that bring active older adults together to socialize, inform, and educate, and encourages connection and engagement with neighbors. If members need additional assistance to help them stay in their homes as long as they are able, services by volunteers are offered. These include companionship, driving to medical appointments and local shopping, computer assistance, small household repairs, and more. In-person programs and services are restricted during COVID, but they will resume as soon as safety precautions allow. Learn more about us at www.pennsvillage.org.
Today's program is titled The Silver Binder, or as we call it, How I Got My Ducks in a Row, How to Organize Your Life. A little background, I'm somewhat anal retentive. I'm the kind of person who would alphabetize my spices, organize my socks by color. So I'm the guy who knows best about how to organize your life, at least I think. Today's presentation will provide an overview of the binder, and on the right of the screen you'll see an actual binder. It is a 3-ring binder, which is important because it allows you to put stuff in, change stuff, take stuff out, so it's very flexible to whatever you need. I will discuss the key elements contained within the binder. I will review the forms, which are the heart of the binder. The binder has forms, 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 and more forms. And at the end of the presentation, we'll have an opportunity to ask me any questions. If you have any questions during my presentation, just use the chat feature. And when I'm through, I will answer the questions. And once I've gone through that, I'll open up all the mics. We'll have a free-for-all, which is always fun. Definition. The silver binder is a binder that contains personal, financial, and health information in one location for use by you or those acting on your behalf. In other words, it's an opportunity to organize information that's often scattered all over the place. The binder can be used to help you with your day-to-day life issues. For example, what is my Comcast account number? What is the phone number for my Capital One credit card? What are the prescriptions I'm on? You know, the stuff you just probably have scattered all over the house. If you put it in a binder, you just pick up the binder and it's there. Sometimes in your life, you may either be on vacation or perhaps temporarily enabled to act on your behalf. By giving the binder to somebody, they can take care of your personal and financial matters until you're up and running again. And lastly, the binder can help you with the transition when you are gone. It would contain information used by your heirs, your executor, and whatever else to settle your final matters. Now for the caveat. We are not attorneys nor financial advisors. You should probably seek those out if you have any specific questions or you have specific needs that are not generally covered in the binder. Much of the material in the binder is based on internet research. You are encouraged to do your own research. Bottom line, what's in the binder is based upon our opinions and the summation of our research. So do your own research to complement ours. Privacy. In the binder, you see some forms that have an asterisk by it. That lets you know that this information, if filled out, is confidential. You should probably keep it to yourself or to those you trust. So the asterisk will alert you to that. We suggest you keep the binder in a safe location because it does contain confidential information. Mine is in a gun safe. Some people use some other kind of safe. Wherever you have, keep your secure stuff, keep the binder in that location. But a warning, let somebody you trust know where the binder is, because what's the sense in providing all this if nobody else knows about it? It's a lost point. So just some thoughts about privacy. The key binder elements include, as I mentioned, forms for personal, financial, insurance, home, auto, retirement, and life information. In the course of developing this binder, we've had a number of workshops and people have suggested additions, deletions. So what you're going to find in the binder is all the forms that have evolved to date. And no doubt you will have some suggestions for new ideas, and we'll write those down for subsequent updates. We'll provide examples of legal documents as well as resources for you to follow in researching or filling out these documents. And we'll provide supplemental information to the forms or the legal documents. So those are the main elements of the binder. And finally, we'll have some examples of how you might use a binder or somebody else might use it on your behalf. Personal information forms. All right. In the forms, you'll generally have blank spaces for names, contacts, phone numbers of yourself, your family, your friends, your doctors, your attorneys, whoever, financial advisors. It's kind of a mini address book, but it's more focused on to the items contained in the binder. You're also going to have a form for your medical contacts. Do you have any outstanding medical issues that people should be aware of? And a list of your prescriptions. You also have a form to identify important documents. For example, living will, power of attorney, military discharge, wedding certificates, birth certificates, whatever. So people will know where these are located. My experience has been that people have them scattered all over the place, and they may know where it is, but somebody else doesn't. And also we have forms for your social media accounts, for example, Facebook, emails and such. You'll have the account names, you'll have the passwords, and you notice the asterisk, your passwords are confidential. So that people know, in addition to your normal contacts, do you have any social media accounts that need to be addressed? And here's an example of a form for contacts. You would have the name, address, city of the person, or applicable, this would be a family member, date of birth, place of birth, phone numbers, emergency number to contact, email addresses, and passwords. And this is an example of the forms you can see throughout the document. Now, for financial information, the forms will provide an opportunity to identify account numbers and information contacts, such as used in checking, savings accounts, investments, savings bonds, or other credit cards, reoccurring automatic payments. Now, that's important because a lot of people may see you have all these financial, credit cards, checkbooks, and such, but they're not aware that you're making payments reoccurring automatic. They need to adjust those payments, or in some cases, end them. Unless that's dealt with, those payments go on and on and on. So that's why we have space for that type of information. And we provide space for passwords. Once again, this is confidential information. And finally, we have a space for your assessment of outstanding debt. This is really to help in settling your estate. How much mortgage do you have left? How many auto loan payments and such? Because it'll help your executor, whoever else has to deal with your estate, to kind of sort these things out. They may not know those up front. And this is an example of a banking form. Where's your checking account? Phone number, what's your account number? What is your online ID? What is your online password? And some banks ask for a security question as a second level of security. And we have forms for all your savings account, money market, whatever. Once again, this is very confidential information. We have forms for insurance, including the types of policies you have, auto, home, life, whatever. The contact for the insurance policies and the policy numbers. You can identify the beneficiaries where applicable. This will help in settling your estate. Oh, and this is where I throw in a curveball. Normally in the middle of my presentation, I throw a slide just, mix things up. Last September, I went on a river cruise in the Amazon and I met this guy, the snake that is. But that was fun. Here's an example of an insurance form. You identify the type of insurance, the company name, who sold you the policy, who deals the policy, policy number, and where's that policy located. Recently, a friend passed away and his family knew there were other policies, but they could not find them. And if the policies are found, then unless they're found, they really serve no purpose. So you got to list these policies. It really helps a lot. Home auto information. Who holds your home, second home, third home mortgages? What about your auto loans? Who holds them? What type of insurance do you have for the homes and or autos? For your autos, where are your autos located? Where are they parked? Maybe you might have the license number or the VIN, vehicle identification number. You can put this down. Utilities, Comcast, Pico, whoever. I personally, whenever I have an issue with utility, I used to have to track down an old bill to find out who to call. Well, if you list all those utilities, you can readily avail yourself of calling them and giving the information they need. And if somebody needs to change or shut down these utilities, bingo, they know who to contact. An example of a mortgage title information, who's a lender, who's the contact, account number, monthly payment, property taxes paid to whom, any assessment fees paid to whom, and the location of the title or titles. Retirement. You can identify the types and sources of retirement, Social Security, IRAs, 401ks, any other kind of pensions. Once again, contacts, account information. And once again, you could use this for your day-to-day managing your finances and to settle your estates. An example of a retirement here, this one shows you identify whatever pension you have, policy number, and contacts. And there are a number of these blank forms. And we'd like to talk about this, but unless you're different from me, we are somewhat mortal. So end of life information. This would include people to contact when you have passed. They could be your friends, your relatives, your doctors, whoever needs to be contacted. This will really help whoever is the executor of your state. You can provide information if you've had any funeral or cremation prearrangements. I have often found that if this is dealt in advance, it's kind of a blessing to those who follow you because they're dealing with the emotional trauma of your passing. If they don't have to deal with this, it makes their life a lot easier. A lot of times when you prepare an obituary, they like to know information like who your family's members are, where were you born, were you raised, and a little bit about your information. And by filling out this form, it's really easy to write up your obituary. And we mustn't forget our pets. What's become of those who've been loyal to us all in life. And many times a will list in general terms items to be dispersed to friends or family. This gives you an opportunity to identify specifically important items that you want to go to certain individuals. Okay, how to use a binder. Well, I'll give you following 3 examples of how you can use your binder. Once again, for just normal day-to-day use, for use by others acting on your behalf, and for the use at the end of your life. Okay, for day-to-day use, an example would be that Once again, as I alluded to earlier, you can keep track of all your contact information, medical contacts, medication. It's a ready to reach resource of information that you could make your life a lot easier. Keep track of all your finances. And I mean, there are so many account numbers and passwords and utility bills. It can be run into the scores just knowing one location to find all that information. And when you get around to developing a will, this information in the binder will help you locate your will, make arrangements, who to contact, information for final documents, pet arrangements, and inventory effects. If you have all this information and you do your will, your attorney will be amazed that you're so organized. Now, sometimes when you might be incapacitated by an illness, or you may be out of the country or whatever, you're going to want somebody to deal with your personal and financial matters when you're gone. With the binder, they'll be able to contact friends, relatives, doctors, hospitals, attorneys, refill medications on your behalf. They can take care of financial matters such as depositing checks, making payments, pay utilities and credit cards, and processing other payments until you're up and running or back from your vacation. And when you're incapacitated, they can assist with carrying out the provisions of a living will or power of attorney. Well, as I mentioned earlier, this is all nice and wonderful, but if they don't know where the heck it is, then it's moot. So let somebody you trust know this exists and it's available to help them, to help you on their behalf. And lastly, you can use a binder at the end of life. For example, to assist with your final arrangements, who to contact, how do you want your funeral handled, how do you want your pets taken care of. It can help your executor settle your estate, give the binder to the executor. It will contain a lot of information, and it can assist the executor as needed. And also it's useful to close accounts. By knowing what accounts you've got open, you can shut them down, whether they be financial or social media accounts. Okay. Next steps. As I mentioned, the binder has forms, and then forms. You may not need them all. Use what you need. Throw them to new ones you may need. Who knows? It's open-ended. And because it's a binder, like I said, in and out forms, easy to swap. Add new ones if you deem necessary. With the purchase of the binder, the forms will be available electronically in Microsoft Word format. So if you don't want to spend hours writing in forms, you can electronically fill them out, print them out, and you're ready to go. Or if you have to change a form, print out a new form, new information, ready to go. And the goal is to get you organized. The binder also contains additional information, such as a discussion on power of attorney, living will, last will and testament, revocable living trust, and we provide links to get more research on these documents or to talk to your attorney. And the additional information is some information on funeral or cremation prearrangements. How do you get the binder? Well, you can order and pay for it on the Penn's Village website. It costs $35 for Penn's Village members, $45 for non-members. Included with the purchase price is, as I mentioned earlier, electronic copies of all the forms. Now you'll see other similar documents, and I've seen them too, but they tend to be a document is printed and bound, and if you've got to make a change, you've got to erase it, you've got to, it's a little harder to update. So what's unique about this, in a binder, you can swap out new pages as needed. We ask that you purchase by November 19th, and at the end of this program, they'll be starting to accept purchases. Now, there are two options. Once you purchase the binder, you'll get immediately the electronic file containing the forms. But you have two options to get the binder. One is you could come pick them up, or you can have it delivered to your home. And we have 2 dates for the pickups, November 23rd, November 24th. And the delivery dates is open depending on who wants it, but the last date for delivery will be the 25th of November. So once again, you've got two options to get your hands on the binder. And I just said. So at this point, we'll see if you have any questions. All right, we can have a free-for-all.
What's the address to pick up?
The address of Penn's Village is, I should memorize this.
201 South 21st Street, the First Presbyterian Church.
For the pickups, they're going to have a couple of windows of pickups. They don't have to be sitting in the office all the time because it may not be open. For Monday, November 23rd, the hours are 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., an hour window. For Tuesday, November 24th, the window for pickup is 2:30 p.m. through 3:30 p.m. And as I mentioned, if you want it delivered, we'll have to see how many want them delivered. We'll sort out the delivery options and we'll get back with you.
Is there a charge for the delivery?
No.
It was very informative, Mario, because I've had the book and now I'm really spurred on to do something about it and not just let it sit here and collect dust.
Plus, it's a wonderful entertainment opportunity during the coronavirus lockdown.
Yeah.
So
In rainy days.
can I complete the form on my computer? Is that what you have said?
Yeah, if you want people who purchase a binder get electronic file containing all the forms and Word document. Just call up the form you want, fill it out, print her out. Easy
Okay.
peasy.
That's good.
I don't have electronic on here. How do I get that, Mario? I have the regular forms that you gave me in the book.
You have the binder?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot us an email and we'll get you the electronic copy. You should have received it when you bought it, but we'll send it out again.
No, I didn't. Okay.
Can you use it on Apple?
Can you use it on an Apple computer?
I don't have Apple, but I'm pretty sure Apple has a means of reading Word documents. And I'm seeing the Apple people shake their head. So I'm not lying.
Okay, I will do that.
So Mario, is there anything in the binder at this time? Or is it that if you use it, you would just put the particular pages in?
The binder contains all the forms that you would need to fill out. I kind of summarized just a few. It contains forms. It contains written instructions. It contains examples of documents. In theory, with a binder, you should be able to fill it all out. But, if you have any questions, let us know. Like I said, it's evolved over several months. We keep adding it, tweaking it, and it's pretty good. Anybody else?
Do you have the binder with you today? Could you just show it to us and kind of flip through it and just show it to us, open up the pages and just give us a sense as to how it's set up?
Well, you're probably seeing it backwards, I bet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to show because it's going to appear backwards, but it contains 5 sections. The first section is a summary of the contents. The second section are the blank forms. Third section I didn't touch upon, but it's in many stationery stores they sell plastic zip container. How to describe it? A zip thing where you can put a document in and zip it closed.
Pocket.
Yeah, in section 3, you can put that zipper in it, and you can put your important documents. Could be your will, your birth certificate, whatever. That's just a blank space to put that plastic sleeve in, and bingo. Section 5 provides the supplemental information I described about power attorney, living will, funeral arrangements, and whatever. That's in section 5. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed section 4. That contains a diagram that shows you how to use the binder. You know, those funny little diagrams, as well as a narrative description. So that's what the binder consists of. And let's see, it's 79 pages. Not quite a novel, but a novella.
Mario, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm a member, my wife and I, we are members of the First Presbyterian Church. When we buy it, could we ask that your staff just leave our copy of the binder with the secretary there, because I'll see her irregularly. I don't know exactly whether I can make it on those 2-hour time periods that you mentioned in your.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make a note of that. In fact, what I'm doing right now is I'm
Okay.
doing a print screen of the screen, so I have everybody's name.
I'll actually jump in and let you know that when you place your order, there will be a comments field where you can give us an address for delivery. So if you just want to put in that comments field to leave it with the church secretary, that'll be a good reminder for us to do that.
Thank you. You thought of everything. Appreciate it very much.
Very good. Any more questions?
Are those pickup times that you mentioned, are they on Penn's Village website? Because I didn't.
But I believe they will be, right, Donna?
Yes, they'll be on the Penn Village website. I'm actually going to be sending an email to everyone who was registered for the event today, and that will have a link to the webpage with all of the information for ordering the binders. And
Okay.
it'll have the times, the location, all the details for you.
Good. Okay, because I didn't write it down. Thank you.
And for an additional $500, I'll sign it. Well, I want to thank you all for participating, and if you have any questions, let us know.
Thank you very, very much.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mario.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.